Original pilot, aka Ross Mulligeta Sewa. Adiva! Hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no one them tell them believe ya. A diva! Run boy, hot girl diva, a diva. Some girl a skittle tough like a cleaver. No man no one them tell them believe ya. A diva!
Wow.
Run boy, diva, a diamond, hot girl them a goal. Always feel like them in control. Any man we tackle them end up in a them hole. That simple mean them story and skittle them a brass. Tell them kiss me round. Run a my place, none of them can pass. In a girl business, a them come last. Pilot, you are the boss. Hot girl.
Yo, man. We back. Last night was tough because I was trying to do this podcast, and for some reason, it just wasn't coming together. The audio wasn't coming together. Fucking headphones feedback and turn my mic down just a little bit here. Like things just weren't clicking for me. And I had to take a meditation on it, come back. I kept the video up of me fumbling and stumbling all night. If you were with me last night, you know we did 4 live streams, and I still wasn't able to get my point across. And today, or yesterday, because it's the morning, I had an out-of-body experience, which kind of links to this video right here. And I think this is something that y'all gotta go and watch, man. Billy Carson reveals alien encounter and lost civilization secrets on Flagrant. This article right here, this right here was the craziest shit I've ever seen on the internet. And I know that last night, what I was trying to get across is the music industry failing? And I opened it up by saying that since Donald Trump said fake news, it just seems everything is not real. Since Kanye West went on Jink Tramps, that's a Jamaican in me, Drink Champs, and said what he had to say, it's like he touched the third rail and didn't die. When Elon Musk bought Twitter, it's like he didn't die. When everybody's saying Tucker Carlson did a softball interview with Vladimir Putin, he didn't die. It just seems that we are now in the truth. And there's so many things going on in the world right now. Wars here, economy's bad, mass immigration, migration coming through the United States. And it's like people actually believe like, yo, the world is coming to the end. We're on the brink of World War III. Those are small little pockets of drama that's going on in the world right now. Donald Trump on trial, that's minute. Israel, Hamas, that's really minute. January 6th, that's really minute in the grand scheme of things. On the flip side, we're seeing the Band-Aid being torn off the sore fast. We're seeing this great awakening in human civilization that we haven't seen for like maybe 30,000, 50,000 years. I think we're at the point where we're more at the world has ended. I think the world has ended back in 2019. Like the world ended, like the world destroyed itself. And after 2020, that's when the world started to come back. And that's why I think we're at the genesis right now. I really believe that. I don't think this is the best time to be alive. This is just the best time to be alive. We're seeing the progression of technology. We're seeing that artists are now saying the illusion of the record label is not something that you want to do. That's enlightenment, right? Like if you see the description of my podcast, it's enlightenment. It's to enlighten, right? It's not for money. It's just for me to spit my truth and have that be absorbed into the atmosphere. Let's see what's going on here with the destinations. Make sure we live everywhere. Man, Twitter's always bumping, man. Twitter's always bumping late night. This is where we're at right now. We're at the genesis. We are at the beginning of the golden era, where human beings are going to become smart. And once we achieve that level of greatness, then Jesus will come back. And Billy Carson said something that was profound. It's not like Jesus is going to come back, like he said, riding on a cloud. Jesus is going to come back in our consciousness. And we're going to tear down religion. We're going to tear down hate. We're going to tear down racism. We're going to tear down all the things that's stopping us to progress as humans. And I think this right here, this is very interesting. When you have Fat Joe say, we played it last night, that the record label's a Ponzi scheme. When we see all the protests on college campuses, that shakes the structure of freedom of speech. What is freedom of speech? What is it? When we're starting to see, like, I have the most diverse friends than anybody on the planet. Like, I got gangsters, I got Christians, I got Muslims, I got white supremacist people in my phone that I could call. I have the most diverse phone. I got the most diverse phone number list than anybody on the planet. And when I go and look at their social media, no matter how diverse they are, when I look at my white supremacy friends posting and my righteous black brothers posting, it's funny that they're all posting the same exact message. Democrats and Republicans do not represent us as a people. How do we get to this enlightenment? Now, are we getting to this enlightenment as one? Or is the white supremacist saying that the Democrats and the Republicans don't represent his sort of people? Or is it my black power brothers that is saying the same thing, that the Democrats, Republicans are not supporting their ideologies? So because they're not supporting their ideologies, it's bullshit. And because they're not supporting this ideology, that's bullshit. Or do they have the same ideology and they're saying everything is broken? I mean, Billy Carson said something crazy. Well, what did he say? He said 166 families control 400 billion, something crazy. 400 billion people. So all the people on the planet, all of us is controlled by like 150 families. We're beginning to understand the stock market now. We know it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution. We know that. It sounds like a conspiracy theory to you Monday, Tuesday through Thursday, then Friday, you watch the news and you just watch how the stocks are being manipulated. Right? We notice how Bitcoin is tied to the US dollar, which is crazy because it shouldn't be. We're just beginning to see the eye-opening. It's not the end of the world. It's the beginning. It's the genesis. It's the beginning of one massive people getting together to fight against the gods that control us and the people who deem themselves to be the rulers of us. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to try and figure this shit out. When we think about the election that's coming up and we're just under the impression like, if you don't vote for this election, like all your freedoms are gonna be gone. If you don't vote for this election, we won't be free. You're hearing that on both sides. If you vote Republican, you're going to save America. If you vote Democrat, you're going to save America. Doesn't make any sense. Just doesn't make any sense. This division, we're beginning to come together. We are beginning to come into the golden age. The only problem that fears me as we move away from the record labels and we're becoming more independent as artists, as we move away from the film industry and we start to create our own things, as we move away from the news to get our news, we're now getting our news from different sources. As we begin to achieve the ultimate enlightenment, the Tower of Babel is growing just as quick as a tower that we've built. And that Tower of Babel is AI. Are we going to use AI to grow society? Is AI going to be put on this planet to even the playing field so everybody gets enlightened? Or is AI here for another governing tool for the rich to get richer? That's the only problem I see right now. That Tower of Babel reaching heights I don't know. But as a 50-year-old, this is the best time to be alive. Because I remember 8-track. I remember Atari 2600 and 7800 and Super Nintendo. Now we're gaming on PCs. I mean, we were always gaming on PC. Well, I wasn't, but my boy's dad had a flight simulator and we were playing Wolfenstein 3D. So we've always gamed on PCs, but that was such a heavy lift for a lot of us. You know, a lot of us like, fuck it, man, just give me the fucking Nintendo. Then the TurboGrafx 16, then the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, blah, 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 Neo Geo as we scaled up. But now, well, right. So we saw those pockets. We saw those pockets. Remember the CD player? Remember the cassette deck? You had a cassette deck. You bought your records on cassette. Then it went to CD, then it went to DVD. Now it's MP3. Now it's Apple Music. Gas cars to now receive more electric cars. The evolution of social media, how it went from websites to social media back to websites. So as a 50-year-old, we were in this pocket where we were young enough to understand old tech, but we're still young enough to understand new tech, right? Like the majority of us 50-year-olds, we understand social media. We're now going to AI. We do understand 8-track. We do understand cassette tape. We do understand DVD. We do understand vinyl records. But now we're being exposed to AI and we know how to use it. If you slide a generation forward or back, they're not in the sync pattern. Like our parents, right? Like my mom saw me playing Nintendo. My mom knows how to use AI. But they kind of miss the social media thing. Like they do Facebook and all of that, but they kind of miss the social media thing. We lived the social media thing. We were there at the beginning of social media when we talk about AOL. Right? When you were in those chat rooms, AOL, Black Planet, BobbyShakes.com, then to Facebook, IG, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. So we've been in that sweet spot. We've always been in the sweet spot. So before I go to bed, I think that we're in the genesis. I think we're in the beginning. I think we're in the enlightenment stage. I believe the world is going to get better because all the lies are going to be broken down. You can no longer lie to us. We no longer believe you. We no longer believe you. We challenge everything you say. We challenge everything. And as more platforms like this evolve, right? As more platforms like this evolve and more people start to talk, the truth comes out. And then you got to go and do your own research to see if the truth is really real. And I had a crazy experience today, and I want to talk about this before I go to bed. And Yeah. So today I was doing real estate and I parked on the side street, which is a dead end. And this car was backing into the street, but she pulled up halfway, then stopped. I was like, oh, okay. And then she comes out of her car. She's like, oh, could you move? So I'm like, all right. So I jumped in the car and I tried to move my car off to the right so she could get by, but there was enough room for her to sneak by. I mean, the real estate agent just started to talk again. Like 10 minutes later, her boyfriend came out. Like, what y'all doing here? I was like, oh, we're just taking pictures of this unit. Like, yeah, but y'all niggas is blocking my shit. And I don't like my shit being blocked. So me and the real estate agent, we're like, okay, where is this going? Now I have a blown out fucking knee, right? I blew my fucking knee out. My knee is fucked up. And I've got the back of my minivan open. I'm just sitting down while we're having this conversation and I'm smoking a fucking American Spirit. And I'm looking at this dude. I'm looking him in his eyes and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to allow you to live today. Because I'm on a different level of enlightenment. I'm going to allow you to live today. Because there's no way he would have won whatever he was trying to accomplish. It just wouldn't have happened. But why did it not escalate to the point where this dude just get crushed? It's because we were there on a different level. I was there to take pictures, to get my money to take the pictures. The agent is there to sell the crib for 1.5 million. So when he's coming down the street and being aggressive with us, I'm just looking at him like, wow, bro. The level that we're on right now is such a level that he can't even grasp or understand. Like, we're trying to make 1.5 million here, bro. If we beat you to an inch of your life, or if you turn around and then shoot us, the goal that we're trying to reach can't be met. Because at the open house, I'm going to say, oh man, there was a shooting around the street, or two dudes jumped one dude. All that stuff's get logged in the police blotter or blog or whatever it's fucking called. That then brings more heat to the neighborhood, and that could affect the sales price. So we said to the brother, yo, man, listen, man, we don't want no problems. Okay. We don't want no problems. I don't want no problems with you, Poppy. So he's like, yeah, y'all need to move fucking now. We're like, okay, Poppy. We don't want no problems with you. And he stood in the street till we left. So we left. But this is what we all need to do. This is what we all need to do is to get to that level of enlightenment where something like that doesn't even measure on your radar, bro. Like usually, like when you're broken, like a confrontation with like that would last. Like I don't even remember what was said. I just know we said, okay, we don't want no problems. But he was talking. But while he was talking, I just wasn't even listening to it because it wasn't on the level that we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to we're trying to make fucking money, man. We're trying to get fucking wealthy. The fuck am I gonna roll around with you in Dorchester on the fucking street for what? Why am I gonna do that? So now he's telling his boys, like, yeah, man, I just punked some bitch ass niggas. I went out there were two bitch ass niggas on my street, and I told them bitch ass niggas to move. And all his friends were like, yay, you're the hero. That's his story. That's what he's going to tell everybody. The truth, what happened was, we want to get to a higher level. We're trying to get to that Christ level consciousness. And we only could get there if we're shooting for the fucking stars. If we're trying to get there. If we're trying to use hydrogen to communicate with other stars out there. Weren't you trying to use hydrogen to communicate with our alien creators? Right? We're trying to use our brain to be like, yo, we're trying to get this shit. Until everybody gets on this level, disrespect is no longer disrespect. Because disrespect cannot get into your plan of success. Now, if we were two brothers that had nothing going on, it would have been a scuffle on the street. Because at that point, you have nothing to lose, right? The only thing you have is your pride. When you're poor, the only thing you have is your pride. Once you start to chase money, and then money starts coming to you and you stop chasing it, your pride no longer matters. You're able to see conflict and diffuse it. And this is a very important phase that we're in right now. We are in the Genesis stage. We are in the beginning. We are in the beginning. When God said, let there be light, and there was light. We're at that stage. Everything's going to be, all the lies are going to be shown. The Genesis stage, man. Just look at the world, look at the news, just look what's going on. All right, I just have to get that off my chest. I'm going to try and be on it every night, man, because I got to get the chops going again. I just got to get better. So, you know what it is.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit,